And we're live. What's going on, people? How you guys doing? How you guys doing, man? Apologies for the voice. I feel a bit hay fevery, Not feeling the best, but we'll soldier on. We'll talk some boxing. Yo, the quags in the chat. What's going on, man? How you doing? How are you doing? Hopefully you're enjoying your Saturday. Hopefully you're nice and relaxed. Tell me how you doing, man. We got 3 people watching. Fair play. There we go. Yo, Brian, man, what's going on? Brian, you're becoming a regular, man. Shout out to Brian. Got a cup of coffee. We are on the light stuff today. No alcohol. We're chilling. We're having a good time. We're just we're relaxing, man. We're relaxing. It's been a shit day today in terms of weather. I've got fuck all done. I've done fuck all. So I thought, why not? Let's start a stream up. Been one of those days. Super lazy and not very productive. Put it that way. I feel like shit as well, to be fair. Yes, sir, man. Brian's been in every stream this week, becoming a regular. And ABC, he's always here. The Quags is always here. Yeah, shout out to you guys, man. Shout out. Brian Pierce, mate, I'm on the quiet one with no booze for the first time in ages. Yeah, like the last few weekends for me have been a bit fucking crazy. I'll be honest, and yeah, I kind of needed a quiet one. Needed to have a weekend in, relax, and leave the alcohol alone. Having said that, I've got some fucking gin in the cupboard, so if I want some, we can start. We can start. There's no problem. But I thought I'd leave it this weekend. Gin is something I've proper got onto recently. Going to turn into one of those gin wankers. Unrivaled boxing talking news. What's going on, brother? Which Harry Greb fight is the best one you've watched on video? I've not seen any, mate. UFC tonight, yeah, UFC tonight. Henry Cejudo, he's fighting, I believe. And Tony Ferguson versus Donald Cerrone. Listen, I'm a super casual MMA fan, but that's a great fight. That's a great fight. Haha, Brian Piss. He's bad for rum. Captain Morgan spiced, okay. Yeah, 54 Trail Swan, I saw that. Zab Judah got stopped by Cletus Seldin. Devastated, man. Double-digit losses. I mean, he would have smashed that guy in his prime. Zab Judah, yeah, he needs to call it a day. 41 years old, 10 losses now. He's done. He's done. It's a shame, Zab Judah, way back when, was a very good talent, very good fighter, but at 41 years old, he needs to call it a day. He needs to call it a day, to be quite honest. And Cletus Seldin, he's no great shakes, as we saw with the fight with Alessi, He's really no great shakes. And he'll get beat soon again, so it is what it is. Okay, Brian Piss, the Kevin Lorena fight's on now. Yeah, he's fighting some guy who's like 7 or 8-0, I believe. Yeah, Kevin Lorena's decent, Kevin Lorena, he beat Arthur Mann, who was an unbeaten prospect. He beat Kalenga. He beat Mickey Nelson. He beat Kutcher. Yeah, Lorena's decent. I think Lorena would be a good fight for Lawrence Okoli, actually. Unrivaled boxing talk and news. He's a sucker for Echo Falls. Yeah, it's all right, innit? Oh, mate. 54 Trail Swan. He wanted to see Pacquiao versus Judah. Yeah, man. It would have been a good fight, but you would have favoured Manny Pacquiao back then. ABC Death. Imagine losing to a guy called Cletus. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Cletus. Listen, he'll come to give it a go, but he's really nothing special. Really nothing special. Yo, Tetley in the chat. What's going on, man? What's going on, Tetley? What are you seeing, by the way? What film are you watching? Yo, C188 in the chat. Shout out to you, sir. Prime Zab Judah would have stopped him in three. Yeah, Cletus Selden would have got busted up. Let's be honest about it. Let's be honest about it. Why not just make Cletus Selden versus Chris Algieri? Why not? Yeah, ABC Def, he's going to be back in a bit. Okay, Tetley's watching some weird Chinese sci-fi the missus picked off Netflix. Fair play. Fair play. Oh yeah, 54 Trail Swan. Judah had some real punching power in that left hand. He really did. He had some real punching power. Unrivaled boxing talk and news because Algieri mugs him. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, any time Selden steps up, he will get beat. We've seen that already. At a certain level, he's good fun, but yeah, I mean, he ain't great. The old Hebrew hammer, he ain't great. Subash Kunwar, Judah likes to cry. He does indeed. My favourite Judah moment was obviously the Costa Zoo moment, the chicken dance. He made that famous in clubs. It's crazy. That chicken dance, amazing. Team Groves, watching any boxing tonight, Dell? Not really interested, but for next week is stacked. Yeah. So listen, I'll watch Golovkin tomorrow. I'm not staying up for it, to be honest with you. But next weekend is looking great. We've got the World Boxing Super Series, Dorticos versus Tabiti and Glowatsky versus Briadis, both great fights. We have Fury coming back. Sullivan Barrera versus Jesse Hart, good fight. Kudryashov versus Makabu. We've got some good stuff next weekend. We've got some good stuff. This weekend isn't great, it's got to be said, but I'm looking forward to next weekend, no doubt. Yo, Chris Hughes in the chat. What's going on, man? What's going on? Lewis Hurley, this is a UFC overboxing type night. Not overly excited for the boxing this week. Yeah, the UFC's got a great card going on. You know, I'm not a UFC fan or an MMA fan, but I love that fight between Tony Ferguson and Donald Cerrone. That's a great fight. It's a great fight, man. I mean, Tony Ferguson's a madman. Great cardio, great endurance, tough guy, weird rhythm. He's a great fighter. I love watching Tony Ferguson. He's one of those MMA fighters I could watch, and there's not many. There's not many. Yes, sir. Shepherd of Sons in the chat. Uncle Dell, that's right. Chris Hughes. Honestly, if Tyson Fury beats AJ, he is the best heavyweight in the world. I mean, the Ring magazine have Tyson Fury #1 now. You know, I personally have Andy Ruiz #1, but I can get the argument if you have Tyson Fury #1 already. Unrivaled boxing talk. He says, "You ain't no uncle, you little rent boy." I'm an expensive rent boy, mate. I've got some high Yeah, what about now? That should be better. That should be better. Yeah, basically what happens is it kind of mutes itself for some reason, you know? After a while, it's weird. It basically it mutes itself without it showing me. So I've got to mute it, then unmute it, then it works again. It's weird. It's obviously something on my end. I need to figure out what, but that can wait. That can wait. I don't know where I got up to, by the way, but yeah, Lewis Hurley, Tony Ferguson is the best lightweight in the world, one of the best fighters out there. I agree, man. And listen, I'm a casual mixed martial artist fan, so it is what it is. Chris Hughes, if I was AJ, sorry, if I was Fury, I would beat Ruiz and then fight AJ and retire. Yeah, I think he'll go for that Wilder fight though as well. And yeah, Gerard D, how's it going, Dell? First time in your live stream, brother. We've spoken on Twitter, of course. I never knew it was your first time in the live stream. I never knew, man. Welcome to the stream, man. Welcome to the stream. What's your handle on Twitter, by the way? Lewis Hurley, he says Tony beats Khabib Swan. Trust me. Okay. Khabib looks pretty special to me. He looks pretty special. Great wrestler, of course. Great wrestler. 54 Trail Swan. He says, Lewis, I remember when nobody cared about Tony. It's only since Khabib's rise that people have started to get behind him. If he loses to Khabib, watch how nobody talks about him again. Yeah. Although you say that, I mean, mixed martial artist fans are like, or mixed martial arts fans, they seem to be a lot more forgiving when a fighter takes a loss in comparison to boxing fans. I mean, look at guys like Donald Cerrone, for example. He's had multiple losses, yet he's still a big name. He's still getting big fights, and the MMA fans respect him very much so. So I think the whole culture between like mixed martial arts fans and boxing fans is polar opposites. Whereas somebody like MVP, who had an unbeaten record for a while, he wasn't fighting anybody, and MMA fans didn't really care for him, to be quite honest. I think it's who you fought more than how good your record looks in MMA. There's no emphasis on VO in MMA, which I like. That's one thing about that sport I like. And maybe boxing fans should really be a bit more like that. I mean, there's some boxing fans out there who can't fathom the fact Orlando Salido was a world-class fighter. I mean, some people will say, oh, Orlando Salido was a bum. He had over 10 losses. No, he wasn't a bum. He was an excellent fighter, you know? He was a guy who picked up a lot of early career losses. He rebounded and he had a great career. Look at some of the names on his resume, for Christ's sake. I think these days we certainly place too much emphasis on VO, unbeaten records and whatnot. But who have you fought? What have you done? Have you challenged yourself? That's what really matters. But there we go. That's just my opinion. Okay, Crackety Jones won. Yeah, yeah, we followed each other for quite some time. Yeah. No, shout out, man. Shout out. Thanks for popping in. And yeah, apologies for the nasally voice. My nose is gone. Hay fever's kicking me in the balls today. Well and truly. 54 Trail Swan. He says the only reason people are fans of Tony is because of a hope of somebody beating Khabib. Yeah, maybe. Nah, Gerard, man, thanks for coming in. Yeah, boxing brains. Yeah, Kevin Lorena, he's fighting a 7-0 guy. I've not seen that guy fight before, to be quite honest. I've seen Kevin Lorena fight before, and I think he's fairly good. Like I said earlier, got a few good wins. He could definitely be well. I think he should challenge for a major title soon. I'd like to see him fight somebody, top five level, to see how good he really is. Unrivaled boxing talk and news, slag fever, yes sir, yes sir. Lewis Hurley, he's one of the best lightweights ever. Khabib versus Tony is the best fight that can be made in the UFC right now. So annoying what has happened every time it gets booked. Yeah, yeah, that fight's been booked what 3 or 4 times, and it's fell through. I'm glad Tony's fighting again though, because I heard what was going on in regards to his personal life, and at one point it sounded quite worrying. But I'm glad he's fighting. He seems to be, you know, he seems to be back on it on the mend. So yeah, I'm glad Tony's back. Tony versus Donald Cerrone, what a fight that is! Damn, that's a good fight. That's got a boxing fan excited. Somebody's going to get knocked out in that one, surely. I wouldn't be surprised, I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Cerrone pulls off the upset. Nah, Brian, I'm not watching it. 54 Trail Swan, it's like a ton of people became Pacquiao fans because they didn't like Mayweather. Yeah. 54 Trail Swan, who would win between Ramirez and Smith? Do you mean Gilberto Ramirez? I would say Ramirez. No, 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 sorry. For whatever reason, I felt you meant. I thought you meant Callum Johnson. I don't know why, but yeah, Ramirez versus Smith. I would favour Callum Smith, but good fight. I wouldn't be completely sold on Callum Smith, but yeah, I'd take Smith. I think he's hits a bit harder. He's a bit more crisp. Just better technique. I think he's a better boxer all round. I think Callum Smith wins, but Ramirez, he's not as bad as people make out. I've seen people say Ramirez sucks. I think he's a good, solid boxer coming out of that southpaw stance. I felt he looked quite good in his last fight at light heavyweight. He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He's a steady fighter, does all the basics well. And, sometimes these guys aren't always impressive, but when they step up, they get results. Don't be surprised if Gilberto Ramirez is that type of fighter. Don't be surprised. Boxing brains, Dell, what do you think of Sam Jones, Joyce's manager? Do you know what? I don't mind him. I think he's quite funny. The guy definitely indulges in a bit of Charlie now and again. He's very excitable, but he's all right. He's all right. His exchange with Bryant Jennings was quite funny. And let's be honest, Joe Joyce needs somebody like Sam Jones. Let's be honest. No, boxing brains, you got it right. Sam Jones, yeah, Sam Jones. Levi Khan, you've got to be joking, man. Arthur Abraham versus Eubank Jr. rematch. Who wins? I hear rumours this fight's next. Nah, you're trolling. Surely you're trolling. Oh, Eubank Jr. beats the dog piss out of him, but surely you're trolling. Brian Piss, how have I only just seen that Briadis knockout of Manuel Char for the first time? Lovely left hands. Yeah, beautiful uppercut on the back foot. Beautiful uppercut. That's one of my favourite knockouts of recent years. Beautiful shot. I mean, Briadis has power. He really does. He's just a bit too passive at times, but he really does have power. He's a sharpshooter. He's an excellent fighter on his day when it's all going his way. Unrivaled boxing talking news. Dell with Briedis and Glowacki being promoted to. Okay, yeah, it's going to be a unification. Would you like to see the IBF and WBC follow suit in the final? I thought the Briedis Glowacki fight was going to be for the WBO and the WBC. Maybe I'm wrong, but we'll see. We'll see. 54 Trail Swan, Callum Smith looks stiff and unathletic to me. Yeah, he's a big lump. He is a big lump. He's not the quickest, but I think he keeps his shape well. He does the basics well, keeps a nice tight guard, good jab, good timing, good power. He does everything well. And when you do that with that type of size and that type of physicality, I think he'll do all right, man. I think he'll be a tough fighter to beat at 168. Unrivaled boxing talking news, a bit of Charlie now and then. Yeah, exactly. He certainly indulges in Charlie, old Sam Jones. Will's 101. Sup, Dell? What's going on, man? What's going on, man? Yeah, Levi. Zab Judah, yeah, he got stopped last night by Cletus Seldin. It's a shame, but Zab Judah really needs to call it a day now. He needs to call it a day. 41 years old, and yeah, he needs to call it a day. Yeah, unrivaled, yeah. So Briedis versus Golowatsky will be for the WBC and WBO. Great news. I'm super happy about that. And yeah, you're right. Hopefully, in the final, the IBF and WBA follow suit, do the right thing, and put all the belts on the line. That'd be a great look. Dude, I've got a fucking dead leg. Lewis Hurley, Joyce versus Jennings is a really good fight, and an upset wouldn't shock me. I've seen. Do you know what? I've seen a few people say Joyce could get upset in that fight. I've seen a few people picking Jennings. I don't see it personally, but it's certainly a step up. I'll say that much. Okay, Lewis Hurley. Was it Lewis? Sorry, Brian Piss. Eubank is fighting Peter Quillin next, and the winner of Dirrell versus Yildirim rematch. Okay, wouldn't be surprised if they go that route. Wouldn't be surprised at all. Delboy, who has a better chance of being in the Hall of Fame, Miguel Cotto or Sergio Martinez? You've got to say Miguel Cotto. I was like, when Sergio Martinez was doing his thing, I was in my teenage years, of course, and I was a Sergio Martinez fanboy. He was one of my favourite fighters, if not my favourite fighter. But I think Cotto had the better career. He had the better resume. He fought so many guys from Zab Judah to Shane Mosley to Floyd Mayweather, Sergio Martinez himself, Antonio Margarito. He fought all these guys. Malinaji. Miguel Cotto had a great resume. He fought some great guys. And I think he had the stronger career overall. But I certainly believe both Cotto and Martinez are Hall of Fame worthy. I like both guys. Do you know what? The thing with Miguel Cotto was the fact that towards the end of his career, he turned into a bit of a diva, and that's how a lot of people remember him. But people forget what he did before that. He went through a good run of he went through a good run of fighters. He fought some really good guys. Miguel Cotto was a G. He done his thing, great style. Yeah, Miguel Cotto. I think people need to put a bit more respect on his name, if I'm being honest. But that's just my opinion. Chris Hughes, I called the Eubank Durrell fight years ago. Yeah, man, it looks like they're going to go down that direction. Or that could be a direction they're going down anyway. Levi Khan, Zab Judah walked out the ring after he lost. He argued about the stoppage and didn't wait for the announcement after the fight. It sounds like Zab. That sounds like Zab. What can we say? Unrivaled boxing talk and news. He has Briedis winning in Latvia. So do I. I changed my mind. In my final prediction, I have Briedis. I'm just counting on the fact Briedis will be at his best. The home crowd will get him going, and he'll pull something out of the bag. He's due a good performance. Let's be honest about it. The last two fights he's been involved in, his performances have been subpar. His comeback fight against the French guy was pretty poor, and in his last fight against Givor, he certainly lost that fight and got a gift decision. So we'll see. We'll see. Yo, Frank the French, what's going on, man? 54 Trail Swan. If they retired tomorrow, who's a bigger Hall of Famer, Pacquiao or Canelo? Oh, Pacquiao by far. Brian Piss, PBC promised him a title to sign with them. Yeah, that's what I heard a little while back for Eubank Jr. Yeah, that's what I heard. Levi Khan, is there a bigger joke of an upcoming fight than Caleb Plant versus Mike Lee? Yeah, that's not a great fight. Mike Lee, so he's fighting for the IBF super middleweight title. He's never had a fight at 168, and he's been campaigning at light heavyweight. He's never beat anybody of any consequence at 175. How this guy is getting a title shot is beyond me. You know, it is what it is. It's a stay busy title defense. It's a mark time fight, and it's designed to make Caleb Plant look good. So he needs to do that. But it's not great. You're right. It's not great. Boxing brains. I think Billy Nelson said how Joyce missed about 5 punches before he landed the KO punch. That Billy Nelson is more scary than most fighters, to be honest. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Joyce does miss a lot of punches. He does get hit coming forwards, but his style has been effective so far. Oh, Levi Khan, is Zab Judah Hall of Fame worthy if he retires after last night? Well, it's a tough one because if you look at some of the guys in the Hall of Fame, you would argue Zab Judah had better careers than those guys. But should he get in the Hall of Fame? It's a hard one. The Hall of Fame's become so diluted anyway. So I guess by that rationale, you'd say yes. It's a hard one, really. I personally believe the standards for the Hall of Fame, should be a bit higher than what they are, to be honest. Brian Piss, he says they're going to announce the Canelo versus Golovkin fight tonight, by the way. Wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be mad. I really wouldn't be mad. Unrivaled boxing talk and news. Koto's wife gets you hot as fuck ASAP. Yeah. Gets you Hall of Fame ASAP. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Koto's wife is decent. She's alright, you know. Yeah, 54 Trail Swan, he says, yeah, Zab Judah was undisputed at 147 and lineal at 140. Yeah, he was good, man. He had a great career. The quags. Koto's wife looked like a necromancer in the Canelo fight. Oh dear, man. Listen, man. I mean, those two fun bags she has. Listen, I wouldn't kick her out of bed. I really wouldn't. Levi Khan, who do you like? Andrew Tabiti by points or Dorticus by knockout? I've got the KO Doctor to win by knockout. Rounds 4 to 6. I think, you know, I just feel this fight has come a bit too early for Tabiti. Like 1 or 2 fights too early. I think Dorticus, the bigger, stronger man, will be a bit too much for Tabiti. Tabiti is fairly good defensively, but he's quite flat-footed. And, you know, he fights out of that shoulder roll but he's nowhere near as athletic as a guy like Floyd Mayweather. He stands fairly upright in that shoulder roll stance. Look for that overhand right over the top of the shoulder roll by Dorticos. I think he's open for that shot to BT, and I just think he'll be overwhelmed. I don't think his defense is good enough to, keep Dorticos at bay. I don't think it's good enough. But we'll see. If I was to BT, I would box fairly cautiously for the first half of the fight. And in the second half, that's when I would start to try and counter, try to sit down on my punches, and maybe try and take him out late on, because Dorticos does gas, but early on he's very dangerous. So I can see it going both ways. I really can, but I favour Dorticos. It's a great fight, though. It's a great fight. I'm really looking forward to that one. Stylistically, it should be a really good fight as well. But fair play to Tabiti, A lot of these TMT fighters get the tag of being a bit protected, but that guy's going for it, That guy's going for it. So fair play to Tabiti. Haha, unrivaled boxing talk and news. Hey Dell, what do you think of Porky's Corner in depth? We've got something coming out about these channels. That's all we'll say. Uris Corrales, hi. What time is the Dorticos fight? It's actually next week, around this time next week. I wish it was this week, man. I wish it was this week. Chris Hughes, Gennady Golovkin beats Canelo and comes back. Oh, that'd be good, man. That'd be good. Oh, that's a good fight. 54 Trail Swan. Who'd win between Andy Lee and Jamal Charlo? Well, do you know what? That's a really good fight. It's a really good fight. Andy Lee is very vulnerable, as we know. He's a bit chinny. I think he's there to be knocked out, but as we know, Andy Lee's right hook had real punching power. And even his straight left was a powerful punch. We all saw how badly Jamal Charlo struggled with Korobov out of that southpaw stance. Maybe Andy Lee could bamboozle him. It's a really good fight. It's a really good fight. Who would I favour? Ooh. I don't know. Who would I favour? Do you know what? We'll go with the Irishman. We'll go with Andy Lee. It's a great fight, though. Levi Khan, how many rounds does Gennady Golovkin versus Steve Rolls last? Will Golovkin get the stoppage? I think he will do. I believe he'll get it fairly early on as well in the first 4 rounds. Steve Rolls, I've seen a bit of him, seen some of his open workouts, seen a few highlights here and there. He's quite upright. He's quite stiff. He's not the quickest. He's not the biggest puncher. Defensively, not great. Listen, I expect Gennady Golovkin to go through this guy like a hot knife through butter, to be quite honest. I expect Golovkin to win in 4. Gerard, he says, Valdez in another poor fight tonight, Dell. Could understand the first one back after a broken jaw, but another soft touch, yeah. I know McGregor's seen a bit of Sanchez, but he didn't really sound too convinced about Sanchez. Said he could box a bit, but not much power, etc. So we'll see. We'll see. And yeah, again, apologies for this blocked nose. I sound like an absolute clown. Sound like I've been on the Charlie all night, but I've not, I can assure you. Yeah, ABC Def. Valdez fighting a prospect. What a shame. Yeah, man. Dale Stirk, he felt Cunningham beat to BT. No worries, Uris, man. No worries. ABC Def. He asks, how do you think Monroe would have done against Jamal? I'd say he would have gotten starched. Well, I certainly believe Jamal Charlo would have won that fight. But Willie Monroe can make you look bad. He's got good feet. He is solid defensively. I would take Jamal Charlo, but I wouldn't be surprised if he looked ordinary along the way to getting a win, whether that be on points or by knockout. I'm not sure. Probably on points, you know. I'd say Jamal Charlo on points. I think Willie Monroe Jr. would be good enough to evade Jamal Charlo enough to see out the distance, but he wouldn't do enough to win. I don't think Willie Monroe's a bad fighter, to be honest. I just think he lacks that kind of punching power and that desire to be a top fighter. But he's got some solid skills, good defense, good jab, good hand speed. You know, he's got some good boxing skills, but he's just not good enough at the highest level, as we've seen. We've got 18 people in here. Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out. Okay, 1 second, lads. There we go. Yeah, the Quags. Monroe, yeah, he's very tricky. He's very tricky. He's slick, he's awkward, defensively sound, but yeah, no power. If a guy could punch, he would actually be he'd be quite a good fighter. You know, he'd be quite a good fighter. But yeah, he just doesn't have that punching power, unfortunately. Sorry, lads, I've got like 1,000,001 tabs open here. There we go. Let's close some of this shit. There we go. Okay, so 54 Trell Swan. Also, who would win? Prime Denair versus Shinzuki Yamanaka. That's a really good fight, you know, but I'd pick Nonito Denair, to be quite honest. You know, Yamanaka was a good fighter at bantamweight, but he doesn't have the same body of work as Nonito Denair. You know, I think Denair's a bit more explosive, a bit more powerful. I think, you know, he would have way too much for Yamanaka, but it's a good fight. It's a good fight. I always felt Yamanaka was a good fighter, but, you know, he did struggle in certain fights. You know, he struggled in that fight with Anselmo Moreno. I think that was the first fight, though. He struggled. He also struggled with Vic Darchinyan. He was beatable, Yamanaka, in his prime. Good fighter, but beatable. But I liked his style, though, that southpaw style, his counterpunch style. He could punch as well. I liked Yamanaka. It would have been a good fight, but yeah, I think Denair wins. Oh God, the Quags. Who the hell is Fury fighting again? He is fighting a gentleman by the name of Tom Schwartz. Brian Piss. How many rounds do you think Valdez is going? I'm not sure, man. I've never seen Sanchez fight before. Not that I can remember anyway. Maybe I have, but... BS in the chat. Anthony Joshua has done an interview with Adam Smith on Sky News, and he's come out as a non-binary gender. There we go. Maybe he doesn't identify as having a good gas tank. Who knows? Maybe having a good gas tank is part of a patriarchy and misogynistic. There we go. We'll see. Yeah, Uris Cabrales, he says he thinks that Nonito wins. Yeah, I agree. I agree. ABC Def, he says Denair in his prime easily beats Yamanaka and Nieri. I agree. I would maybe not easily, but I would pick him to beat both, knock both out as well. Exactly, Chris Hughes, the Germans. Okay, boxing brains. I hope Charlie Edwards has to fight his mandatory and has to go to Mexico. He will get starched. I wonder if Hearn will fork out for home advantage. I think he will do. You know, Charlie Edwards, since that win against Rosales, his profile has grown a little bit. He's a bit of a name now. And, you know, he can have him headlining shows at like the Copper Box. So I think he would pay to have home advantage for Charlie Edwards because going to Mexico it makes it that much harder, obviously. And the guy who he's due to fight, obviously coming off a good win against Andrew Selby, so he's no joke. He's no joke. We'll see how that plays out, though. Yeah, Julio Cesar Martinez Aguiar. Yeah, he knocked out Andrew Selby in Mexico with a body shot. That was a good performance as well. Yeah, my hay fever's killing me, lads. Absolutely killing me. Chris Hughes, best wishes to him slash her. Yeah, ABC Def. I like Charlie Edwards. Charlie Edwards. He's uh he's grown on me. Wasn't really sold on him before, but his performance against Rosales was really good. I really enjoyed that performance. Boxed really well that night. Yo, John99 in the chat. What's going on, man? What's going on? BS, is Zab Judah fighting tonight? He fought last night, mate. Zab Judah fought last night, and spoiler alert, he got beat. He got stopped late on in the 11th round. '54 Trail Swan. Casemiro, who beat Edwards, is now the WBO interim bantamweight champion. How does he do against Tete? I think that's a decent fight. I think Casemiro's pressure will give Tete issues, but you'd imagine Tete would have too much. He'd keep it behind the jab, and he'd walk Casemiro onto big shots. It's a good fight, but I would favour Tete in that one. Yeah, ABC Def says the same. Yeah, Casemiro, he can give Tete problems, but yeah, Tete on points, I agree. If you guys could hit the like button as well, that'd help us out as well, man. I always feel proper awkward about asking for that, to be quite honest. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's proper cringe, isn't it? Oh, hit the like, man, hit the like. ABC Def, Ray Vargas is too chinny. Sorry, Ray Vargas is chinny too, being dropped by like 4 times. And yeah, he's been dropped by a decent fighter. The only time he's been dropped by a decent fighter was against Manzila, yeah. Yeah, Vargas is certainly vulnerable. He's a big guy for the weight. He's tall and rangy. He's awkward, but I think you can get to him. He looks a bit susceptible to pressure. Yeah, he's certainly beatable, Ray Vargas. He's fighting Kameda next. That's a decent fight, I guess. Lewis Hurley. The beatdown Barrera put on Naz will always be legendary in my eyes. Yeah, man. Great performance. Great performance. He outboxed Nassim Hamid as well. Not only beat him up, but outboxed him. Yeah, the Quags holding it down in the chat. Yes, sir, man. Hit the like button. That's it. Boxing brains. Edwards shoe shines and makes noises whenever he throws his arm punches. Adam Smith probably told her to sign him like he did Katie Taylor. Yeah, Adam Smith, man. Jesus. Okay, ABC Death. I think Navarrete versus Vargas is a recipe for a brutal beating. I agree. I think Navarrete would walk right through Vargas. I think he'd walk right through Vargas. I'm sure Vargas would take it a few rounds, but yeah, Navarrete too much, too powerful, too much volume, too much aggression. It's a good fight though, you know. I'd watch it. I'd watch it. Chris Hughes, man. This is the best thing Luton has produced since Charles Bronson. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Anna Woolhouse, yes or no? She's not my cup of tea, but would I kick her out of bed? Absolutely not. We'd go to work. We'd go to work. Yeah, I would. Certainly. Anna Woolhouse reminds me of a girl who I used to fancy at school way back in the day. But yeah, I would. She's not my type, like I said, but I definitely would. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm picky. uh, I reckon she's a terrible lavo. I can't lie. I bet she's like stiff as a board. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's a freak, but there we go. ABC Def, he says, I'd say Navarrete beats most featherweights as well. He's massive and has a lot of skill. Yeah, he's getting better, Navarrete. Obviously, he's big and he brings a lot of pressure, but he uses angles fairly well. He's got good punch variety. He's a good fighter. Yeah, Shepherd of Sons. He says Anna Woolhouse is like a flat piece of paper. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, she needs a bit more meat on her bones. She needs to be a bit thicker. But she does give off those blowjob signals though, so what can we say? Yeah, Boxing Brains, he says that's the future. Katie Taylor pay-per-view and Charlie Edwards headlining. I think Johnny Nelson wants to bang Anna Woolhouse. Oh, Johnny Nelson. He's getting worse, Johnny Nelson, man. Jesus. Yo, apology man in the chat. What's going on, sir? 54 Trail Swan. Does Anna Woolhouse even know anything about boxing? Or is she is she some random presenter? Yeah, she's a random. She's a random. I think she's basically just there to look pretty and fill in that 2019 PC quota kind of thing. Let's be honest about it. It is what it is. Random question, Dell. Morales versus Marquez. Who wins in their primes? Oh, that's a damn tough question. I always preferred Morales, to be quite honest. I like Marquez, don't get me wrong, but I always preferred Morales' style. He could do a bit of everything. He could actually box really well when he wanted to. As we saw in the first Pacquiao fight, he was a great boxer. He could fight, he could brawl, he could punch, he could counter. He was tough. And we all know about Marquez, of course. I think I would favour Morales. I think Morales at his best is a more complete fighter. I think he's got more tools in the toolbox in comparison to Marquez. But it's a great fight. Apology, man. Thick with two C's. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. ABC Def. Navarrete is a smaller Zerdo. Both look similar. Wear cowboy hats. And massive at their weights. Yeah. JT, what's going on, sir? Thickness. Indeed. We all like a bit of thickness in our lives. Chris Hughes. She thinks Floyd Mayweather Jr. starred in Matrix and Snakes on a Plane. Oh, damn. ABC. He says Prime Marquez lays out Morales. Don't do my boy Morales like that. Yeah, apology, man. Yeah, she's there because she's a female. Let's be honest about it. Let's be honest about it. Shocking how they, yeah, yeah, yeah. Shocking how Morales and Marquez never fought. Yeah, we missed out on that. 54 Trail Swan. Sky never hires anybody who knows shit about boxing. You're right, man. You're right. All of these people are cheerleaders. Carl Froch, actually, though, on the Joshua Ruiz card was quite good. He called out the Katie Taylor fight for what it was, a robbery. And he also gave Andy Ruiz credit because at the end of the show, they was asking the presenters for like performance of the night. And, you know, they mentioned people like Callum Smith who beat a fucking no-hoper. And Carl Froch just said, no, performance of the night, Andy Ruiz, obviously. You know, but Sky, for the most part, are embarrassing in terms of their coverage. So biased, you know, not objective at all. I hate Sky. Boxing brains, Jesus. Unrivaled boxing talking news. I support your stream by turning off the ad blocker. To be fair, mate, most of these streams get fucking demonetized after about a day. So there we go. uh, if you type in definition of a helmet, you'll see a picture of Johnny Nelson kissing Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew, as Ty and Booth would say. Brian Piss, Carl Froch is bummed, Anna Woolhouse. Luis Corrales, Canelo versus Callum Smith. I would go with Canelo. Obviously, Callum's a lot bigger. He's a good fighter in his own right. But Canelo, in terms of talent and ability, I think he's levels above, to be quite honest. Levels above. And I like Callum Smith. I think he's a good fighter. And I think he'll beat every other 168 pounder, but not Canelo. I think Canelo's that good. ABC's got Marquez against Morales. Who remembers the heart Morales showed versus Maidana? Yeah, you're right, Lewis Hurley. In the Maidana fight, Morales way past his best, fighting at 140, you know, old, haggard, but still giving it a good go. Still taking massive shots. He had that terrible eye injury, fighting with one eye, and he still, you know, gave Maidana hell. You know, great fighter. Great fighter. Yo, Corey Lee Boxing in the chat. Shout out, man. Shout out to Corey Lee Boxing. Great channel. Check him out. Does some excellent videos, man. One of the better channels on YouTube, in my opinion. You know, we always moan about the bad channels, but you know, Corey Lee, man, he's one of the good guys. You know, guys like Corey Lee, Boxing Wave. Um, uh, you know, there's some great channels out there. McGregor, of course, lurking around in the chat somewhere. Dale Stirk, Adam Smith has said it how it is with Joshua Ruiz too. I've not really seen Adam Smith's take, to be fair. I've not really seen too much of Adam Smith. ABC Def, Callum Smith would be sparked quickly at 175. Good fighter, but he doesn't know how to fight big boys. You could be right. You could be right. Time will tell. I'm not sure personally. Light heavyweight is a totally different proposition to 168. I will say that much. So, would I back him against a Kovalev, against a Dmitry Bivol? No. But would he be competitive with these guys? I think so. I think so. John 99. If this World Boxing Super Series tournament is confirmed for 175, what fighters will be in it? Well, I would like to see the four champions: Beterbiev, Okay, we're back, I think. I think we're back. I think we're back. I think we're back. Yeah, apologies for that, you know. My fucking internet cut out again. Absolute pain in the arse. You get into a flow and then fucking your internet cuts out. There we go. There we go. My internet's got a fucking about as much going as fucking Anthony Joshua's gas tank. Terrible, man. Terrible. Right, let's get back into this. Where were we? I'll check it in a sec, mate. Unrivaled. Yeah, it's crazy, man. This whole my internet recently has been every single time I do a live stream, something goes wrong. The internet goes out, my mic mutes itself. It's only been recently, you know. They're trying to censor me, man. They're trying to censor me. Crazy, crazy. Shepherd of Sons fixed for bamboo stick Dell. Okay, Shepherd of Sons. Brown declined to fight Bivol. He's VOD 6 mandatory. To be fair, with Marcus Brown, whoever he chooses to fight out of those two, I'm good with it, man. Both great fights. Both great fights. Unrivaled boxing talking news. The Shepherd. He says at the Shepherd of Sons, he's had his bamboo stick waxed by some smack it from Dolly. Oh dear. Uh yes, sir. Your son's returned. The prodigal son, what they call it. Yes, sir. Oh, my hay fever as well, mate. We're struggling. The internet's going. Your boy's internet is fucking all over the gaff. Hay fever's kicking in. Damn. Yeah, I've missed so many comments, man. I've missed so many comments. Corey Lee, he said earlier on, who you got winning tonight? Golovkin in 3 or 4 rounds. And did you see the Eddie Hearn DAZN interview? Hearn saying the dad beef was a lie, and Joshua getting iced in camp was also not true. Okay, interesting. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. Ultimately, both guys got in the ring, Ruiz and Joshua, and Ruiz beat the dog piss out of him. You know, that's what happened. Mini max boxing, Buatsi or Yard. I think Buatsi's got a better ceiling. I think he'll go further. I think he's more talented. He had the greater amateur background, and I just believe he has a more. I believe he's a better technician. I think he's just a better all-round fighter, Buatsi. And by the way, guys, check out Minimax's channel. He's got a channel himself. Drop him a subscription. Very good channel. Azzy in the chat. Shout out to Azzy. Ali versus Usyk. Who wins? You've got to go with Ali. ABC Defi thinks Buatsi's overrated, and Yard is underlooked because of his resume. Yeah, I think Yard does get hated on a bit too much. I can't lie. But I still believe Buatsi's a better fighter. I think he's got better potential. I believe he'll go further. But time will tell. Time will tell. Yeah, exactly, Corey Lee. Salute to everybody making content, especially the dudes out there who are holding it down, talking about, people who keep it boxing. Minimax Boxing, he asks Teofimo Lopez or Devin Haney. Now, I said before, well, quite a while ago, I felt Devin Haney had the higher potential. Sorry. He's got the higher ceiling. I think he's got more potential. Right now, you would probably say Teofimo Lopez is further ahead, but in 2 years' time, I think Devin Haney will be the guy, and I think he'll be well ahead of Teofimo Lopez. And even right now, I wouldn't put it past Devin Haney beating Lopez, to be honest. I think Devin Haney's a better fighter. Yeah, John 99, he says, I think Haney is more versatile than Lopez. I would agree. We've seen Devin Haney stick and move with his jab. We've seen Devin Haney work the body, come forwards, look for big shots, look for counter shots, look for power punches. Devin Haney to me has shown more in the ring. He's shown me more styles, whereas Teofimo Lopez has just really been the same guy throughout, explosive, a guy who looks for power punches. But we've not seen him use that jab. We've not seen him be defensively cute. We need to see a bit more from Lopez. I think Devin Haney is more well-rounded, I would say. But both good fighters, both young, both really good talents. I like both guys. I really do. Both guys also say the right things. Um, I think both guys want to fight for best competition available, and that's all we want to see, really. So I support both guys, to be honest. Yeah, Shepherd of Sons, he says Adonis Stevenson was a beast. He was. That straight left hand, no joke. No joke at all. At one point, you would argue Adonis Stevenson's straight left hand was arguably the biggest punch in boxing, to be honest. Very effective punch. And I think sometimes, back in the day, when Stevenson was active, I think people kind of let their hate cloud their judgment of him. I'm not saying his resume at times or his competition at times was the best, because it wasn't. But stylistically, I believe he was a problem for anybody back then, including Kovalev, including Andre Ward. United 442. The AJ stuff will come out in time. It reminds me of the Ronaldo stuff at the '98 World Cup. Yeah, I'm that old. Corey Lee boxing. So, how do you see the Dubois fight going? I've got Dubois icing the fuck out of Gorman. Do you know what, man? I'm not sure. When it first got made, I was kind of leaning towards Dubois. Before it got made, I was leaning towards Dubois. But I don't know, man. Gorman's got a full camp for like the first time in a long time. Gorman's more fluid. Gorman is better on the back foot. I think Gorman's just a better boxer. Can he offset the aggression of Dubois? Walk him into big shots? I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a good fight, though. I'm second guessing it. I'll be honest. I was picking Dubois, but I'm not sure now. I'm not sure. Minimax Boxing, who is your favourite fighter? Now, that's a hard one. I don't think I have a favourite. I've got favourites. I'll say that much. I like Bivol. I like Peterbiev. I like Yusek. I like Lomachenko. I like Errol Spence Jr. I like Gary Russell Jr., Josh Warrington, Inoue, Daenerys, Roman Gonzalez still, Terence Crawford. What other guys do I really love watching fight? Gassiev. I'm a big fan. I actually really like Dillian White. Kovalev, Vodzik. Listen, man, there's loads of guys. I could reel them off all day. There's so many guys I love watching fight. There's loads of guys I love watching fight. Even Keith Thurman back in the day when he was active, I used to like watching him fight. Also, really like Sean Porter as well. Listen, man. There's loads of fighters I really enjoy watching. John 99. Which boxers would you say are the best at controlling distance? I would say Gennady Golovkin and Errol Spence are up there. Yeah, they are good shouts. Both guys are masters at controlling the range. I agree. I think obviously better a few years ago we had Vladimir Klitschko. He was one of the best at it. Beautiful jab, beautiful feet. He kept you at the end of his punches. There's a few guys around. Tyson Fury's fairly good at it. Bevol's another guy who's really good at controlling range. The only thing with Bivol, at times he gets a little bit overexcited when he throws his combos, but when he's purely boxing behind his jab, he's really good at controlling distance. Yeah, ABC Def, I like these Ukrainian fighters. Yeah, Shepherd of Suns, man, I like most guys. There's not many people I dislike. I don't think there's any fighter out there who I really want to lose, like to the point where I'm pissed if they win. There's fighters out there where I think it'd be funny if they lose, to be honest. But yeah, there's nobody out there I really actively want to lose or do bad. I just try and I've tried to like lose that type of mindset. I want to enjoy boxing more, you know. I don't want to be one of these people who go and who watch boxing with that kind of mindset because I think you don't really enjoy the sport as much. JT, he says same here. Favorite fighters are Bivol, Usyk, and Inoue, and several others. Yeah, man, all good fighters, all great to watch. AA boxing and blunts. What's going on, man? Usyk makes me wet. Yeah, gives me wet patches. Such a skillful boxer. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. ABC Death. Who is the most underappreciated champ ever? In his opinion, it's Vernon Forrest. Yeah, Vernon Forrest was a really good fighter. He certainly had Shane Mosley's number, beat him twice. But funnily enough, Vernon Forrest lost to Mayorga twice. Yeah, Ricardo Mayorga. He lost to him twice, and Mosley beat Mayorga twice. So it goes to show styles make fights, and boxing math doesn't work. But who is the most underappreciated champion of all time? I mean, there's loads of guys you could name off. In recent years, I think Sergio Martinez was quite underappreciated. Vic Darchinyan, when he was going through his tear, was fairly underappreciated. Guys like Marco Hook, when they was at cruiserweight, Denis Lebedev, felt they held that division down for a long time before Usyk. I mean, there's been guys out there who have not really got that recognition they deserve. Wills 101. Do you care about boxers' nationalities, i.e., always support the British fighters? Nah, mate. It's never Right, I should be back again. There we go. The sound should be back. Sorry about that, lads. The technical difficulties tonight are real. They really are. They are real. Damn. Like I said, the powers that be are trying to censor me. What can we say? What can we say? I'm not sure where I got up to, lads. I'm not sure where I got up to, where I cut out, but we'll try and pick it up. Okay, I think it was, do I care about boxers' nationalities and where they're from? Not really, mate. I've never really cared about boxers' nationalities. I mean, right now, if I were to draw up a list of my top 10 favourite fighters, I don't think there would be a British fighter on there. I don't think there'd be a UK fighter on that list. Josh Warrington would be closest. Maybe he would get inside the top 10 just about, but I like who I like. And if they happen to be British, it's just by coincidence, really, to be honest. I find I enjoy boxing more that way. Oh yeah, no, John 99, Josh Taylor as well. He's one of my favourites. I missed him. Josh Taylor, yeah, love his style. Yo, Jake Cleary in the chat, aka Loma King. What's going on, man? What's going on? Yeah, this stream's been an absolute disaster in terms of technical difficulties. What can we say? But now we've got Jake in here holding it down. Jake Winterbottom in the chat. He asks, "Do you think Usek will have a similar reign to Vladimir?" I don't think so, man. Like Shepherd of Sun says, I don't think he's got enough time to have that type of reign. And he is severely undersized at heavyweight in comparison to guys like Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury. I think he'll get beat at heavyweight eventually. So I don't think he'll have that type of reign, but I do believe he will pick up a title, and I do believe he will be a world class heavyweight. Shepherd of Suns, a disaster like Joshua's American debut. Exactly. I mean, the stream's been down 3 times. Joshua got put down 4 times, so it's not quite as bad yet. But we're getting there. We're getting there. My stream's got a fucking glass connection, you know. Um, but we'll soldier on. We ain't gonna, shake our heads and act like we want no more. We're gonna soldier on and we'll try and make the distance. Azzy, Johnny Nelson, you know who Johnny Nelson is. Oh, Johnson Nelson, Jesus Christ. Mr. Alvo, why do you think the media gives the Furies a pass? Sorry, I'm fucking stupid. Why do you? We'll start again, man. We'll start again. I'm knackered, by the way, and I've got feel a bit rough, but we'll start again. Why do you think the media gives the Furies a pass for testing dirty? I mean, BT are going to sweep that under the carpet. It is what it is. They got too many fanboys to really hold them accountable. Yeah, I mean, it is sad. Like, I mean, look at Kid Galahad for example. So he's fighting Josh Warrington, right? BT have made no secret of this guy being a drug cheat, but on their roster they have Billy Joe Saunders, drug cheat, Tyson Fury, drug cheat. You know what I mean? And they never make any mention of this. I get it. If you're going to mention Kid Galahad's drug failures in the past, fair enough. But do it across the board. At least be fair about it. You know? Yeah. I'm not surprised though. It is what it is. You know. BT are going to protect their best interests. You know, what can we say? What can we say? Now, John 99, I've got no problem with Anthony Joshua. I'm just, we're just, just cracking a couple of jokes. In all honesty, though, I don't really, I've never been pro or anti Joshua. Like, I'm just, he is what he is. He had a good run. He beat some good guys, and he got upset. He got upset. I feel exactly the same way about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, to be honest with you. ABC Def, Del Boy. Do you ever think? Sorry, do you think Usyk has a chance against the goat Johnny Shades of Ali Nelson? No, Ali or Shades of Ali Nelson by lopsided UD. Nah, but Usyk would toy with Johnny Nelson. He'd stop him, I think. I don't hate Joshua. I just have no opinion on Joshua. He's like one of those guys who is just I don't really feel either way for him in terms of like either really loving watching him fight or disliking him. He's one of those fighters that I'm kind of neutral on. To be honest though, so on this channel, I've been accused of hating Wilder, Joshua, and Fury, so it is what it is, man. I don't think either one of these guys are particularly likable in terms of like, Joshua's kind of PC down the middle and doesn't really put himself out there. Tyson Fury, I mean, he's not. You either like him or dislike him, and Deontay Wilder is the same thing. I don't think any one of these guys are my cup of tea per se. But yeah, I don't dislike Joshua. In terms of him losing, I just think it's a good thing for the division. I said before he lost that if these guys ain't going to fight each other, one of them needs to lose. You know, one of them needs to lose, and I think Joshua losing is a good thing for the division. Shakes it up a bit, gives us something new to talk about other than Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. How good's that been, by the way? We've not heard anything about it the last week. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. Can't lie. And it's not because I dislike Joshua. He held those titles with for a while, and he fought some good guys. But yeah, okay. AA Boxing and Blunts. He replies to ABC. He says Josh Warrington is just a gym rat. His stamina is built with years of hard work. I hope anyway. Yeah, Josh Warrington though. I mean, I'm sure we all saw this guy since the Samir Mamoon fight. Is it Mamoune? Yeah, it's Mamoune for the Commonwealth title, and even way back then, he had unbelievable stamina and punch output. That was when he was at a lower level. I think it's just built in him. That's how he trains. That's what he trains for. That's his style. Um, yeah, I think it's just him. I've loved watching Josh Warrington's rise. It's been good. Yeah, John 99. Josh Warrington is he is arguably the most underrated British fighter right now. He had a great year last year. He really did. Shepherd of Sons, Makhmudov needs to take those belts back to Russia. Mother Russia. Yeah, Makhmudov's a beast. He's going to knock somebody out or get knocked out himself. He's a fun fighter to watch. Very fun fighter to watch. I think with a few adjustments, he could be really effective. I want to see more of a jab from Makhmudov. You know, a stronger jab coming forwards, a nice tight guard, just basic improvements. And I think this guy could be a bit of a problem. And if you've not seen the fight, if you want the best demonstration of what Makhmudov is about, watch his World Series of Boxing fight with, was it Nistor? Hang on, I think it was Nistor, the guy who knocked out AJ in the amateurs. Sorry, 1 second. I need to check this out. 1 second, lads. Yeah, Mihai Nistor. Watch Makhmudov versus Mihai Nistor in the World Series of Boxing. That is the best representation of what Makhmudov is about. Extremely aggressive, defensively open, but he's got retarded punching power. Like, he's got bare strength. Bare strength. Do you know what I mean? He's a fun fighter to watch. You're right though, Azzy. Shades of Joe Joyce, face first brawler. That's what I'm saying. Like, he needs to come forward with a tighter guard, and he needs to jab his way in. Nice ramrod jab. He needs to be a bit more technical with his work, but with a few adjustments, I think he can go a lot further. Yeah, exactly. Shepherd of Sons. It kind of highlighted his defensive vulnerabilities, but at the end of that fight, it shows what he's got in his locker in terms of power. You know, but that was a great fight. That was a great fight. That World Series of Boxing match. John 99. What's the best example of a schooling you have seen? In my opinion, Floyd versus Canelo, Brown versus Jack, and Saunders versus Lemieux are up there. I liked the Floyd Canelo one personally. I loved that performance. Beautiful performance by Floyd. It was so good that night. Like, everything was on point. Reactions, his counter shots, like reflexes were insane. But yeah, Floyd versus Canelo, that's got to be up there in terms of schoolings. The best schooling is, yeah, the best schoolings in recent years. Sorry. Yeah, Azzy, man, that was a big punch in the Nestor fight. Yeah, Commando 9, I saw that. Randall Bailey fighting on the Paulie Malignaggi bare knuckle undercard. Randall Bailey, without boxing gloves, could be catastrophic. That guy could really punch. Watch his fight with Mike Jones. Don't watch the fight, watch the knockout. Basically, what happened was the fight was terrible for about 10, 11 rounds. And all of a sudden, that Randall Bailey power, man. Jesus Christ. Like, 2 punches literally ended Mike Jones' career. You know, Randall Bailey could really punch. Heavy handed. I always remember that. Also, Randall Bailey, he also scored that knockout on Friday Night Fights. I forgot who it was against though. You know, it's like a really quick jab with a right hand behind it. The jab kind of blinded his opponent, and he came back through with a right hand and knocked him sparko. Yeah, man, but Randall Bailey and bare knuckle, Jesus Christ. Interesting though. Interesting. Azzy, do you believe Billy Joe Saunders? Sorry, Azzy says, Del Boy, do you believe Saunders can even make 160 without PEDs anymore? Well, it's a good question because, you know, he got busted for that PED, and apparently one of the properties for that PED is assisting in weight loss. Now, funnily enough, he fails the drug test, comes back at 168 at the next weight class. So, I mean, it's doubtful he can make the weight class anymore, and maybe he needed help to do it in the first place. Who knows? But I am suspicious of Billy Joe. I can't lie. I am suspicious of Billy Joe, especially at that time. The whole Ingle link up. ABC Def. I loved watching the incredible performance from the next British great, Josh Kelly versus Gronowski. Yeah, I mean they was calling this dude the next Roy Jones. Fucking hell, the next Naz. Crazy, crazy. Shepherd of Sons. Dell exposed Saunders. Detective Dell. JT, does anybody know why Eddie Hearn signed Zhang Zili, the Chinese heavyweight? I felt the long game was having Joshua fight Zili in China. That's what I felt they was going to do. But right now, I'm sure that's the last thing on their agenda. Fury versus the Lumberjack was a schooling, apparently. Who's the Lumberjack? Oh, Deontay Wilder. Yeah, that wasn't the schooling at all. You don't get dropped in a schooling twice. Sorry, you don't get dropped twice in a schooling. And in a schooling, you don't outland your opponent by one or two punches in multiple rounds. That wasn't a schooling at all. I felt Fury won it, but it wasn't a schooling. People went way overboard when they called it a schooling. Again, though, it's Christ. Oh, Huey Fury. Fuck's sake. Yeah, the lumberjack, Chris Norad. Christ. I banished that from my memory and it's back now. I banished that from my memory. The old lumberjack, Chris Norad. Yeah, John 99, I agree, man. He is gifted. Yeah, Josh Kelly is gifted athletically, but not on the same stratosphere as Roy Jones or a Prince Naz. Not on the same level. Levels below. Levels below. And his style is getting found out real soon. He got found out against Ray Robinson. He needs to change something up. He needs to change something up because right now he's not really going anywhere. Maybe they need to hold him back, bring him back down to domestic level, work on a few things, and go again in 2 or 3 fights time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shepherd of Sons, Wilder Fury wasn't a schooling at all. Like I said, I felt Fury won, but that wasn't a schooling to me. Jake Winterbottom, he says he needs to leave Booth. Yeah, I'm not convinced about Adam Booth right now. I'm not. Azzy in the chat. Joshua versus Shades of Douglas sang in Shades of Japan China. AA Boxing and Blunts, he says Conor Benn versus Josh Kelly is a 50-50 fight. I would still make Josh Kelly a big favourite in that fight. I can't lie. I don't rate Josh Kelly, but I just rate Conor Benn even less. But you never know. You never know. Power of Purium. What's going on, man? Glad you're here. Vladimir Klitschko or Vitaly Klitschko, who was best? Now, controversially, I think Vladimir Klitschko was the better fighter. He was the better technician, better jab, better resume, and just more well schooled. I think he's a better, more talented fighter. Vitali was certainly tougher. Well, was he tougher? He had a better chin. He was more durable. But I think Vladimir was a much better boxer, more talented, better resume. I'm going to go with Vladimir. And one thing people get with Vladimir and Vitali, everybody always says, well, Vitali was the more natural fighter. He had more heart. He was more durable. Yeah, you're right. Did he have more heart? I never saw Vladimir quit. I never saw Vladimir quit. I saw Vitali quit with an injury where a lot of fighters would have continued. But Vladimir's the guy who gets called, the guy who has no heart or less heart. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. And all in all, historically, I rank Vladimir higher than Vitali. But that's just my opinion. But I also really liked Vitali. I've got to say that I did like Vitali. Got no problem with Vitali at all. But I just think Vladimir was better. Josh Kelly needs to work on his jab. It was non-existent against Ray Robinson. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Ray Robinson really kind of made him look a bit basic. Now that's a good fight. Power of Perium, Prime Tim Bradley or Keith Thurman. Damn, that's a good fight. I think Bradley could replicate a similar game plan to Sean Porter, but be a bit cleaner on the inside. I think he'll maintain a better punch output. I think Bradley would sneak it maybe on points. But that's a really good fight. And don't be surprised if Bradley hurt Thurman to the body, especially. Don't be surprised, man. That's a good fight, though. That's a really good fight. Yeah, I like that fight. And by the way, um, to the chat, how have you guys got Pacquiao versus Thurman? I'm intrigued to hear your picks on that fight. I'm kind of unsure still. I'm unsure. Yeah, ABC Death. Yeah, Bradley had a hell of a chin. Hell of a chin. AA Boxing and Blunts. Josh Kelly just isn't natural. He's learning something that comes natural to the real boxers. Yeah. Stephen Styles, he says he thinks a prime Vladimir trained by Stewart would have beat Lennox Lewis. Interesting. Emmanuel Stewart always said, in terms of talent, Vladimir was a better fighter than Lennox Lewis. Well, no. He said Vladimir was a more talented boxer, but Lennox was a better fighter. That's what Emmanuel Stewart said. I think Lennox would have got to Vladimir, but I wouldn't be confident in that pick at all. Okay, Minimax Boxing, he's got Pacquiao. Dale Stirk, he's got Thurman. Shepherd of Sons has got Thurman by KO. John 99, he's got Thurman. ABC's Thurman. Do you know, I really hope Pacquiao can do it personally. I've just got a feeling, when Pacquiao connects with that left hand, Thurman's going to go running, man. He's going to go. He's not going to want to exchange. He's going to be flicking out that jab. and people will call it a boxing lesson or something like that. He'll win on points, but I hope I'm wrong. I hope Manny Pacquiao does it. To be honest, I think he can do it. I think he can do it, but if it's close, he's not going to get the fight. They will give it to Keith Thurman. Why would they give the decision to a 40-year-old Manny Pacquiao when they've got a young, unbeaten welterweight who they can match with Errol Spence or somebody like that? Pacquiao needs to knock him out or win decisively. So I'll go with Keith Thurman on points. Carnival, Usyk wants a World Boxing Super Series at heavyweight. Pipe dream. It's a division full of cherry pickers. Exactly. It's not going to happen, man. There's a few guys who I would say would join it, but you know these top five guys, your Joshuas, your Wilders, your Furies, your Dillian Whites. These guys are not going to enter. They're not going to enter. Carpenter 09, no. Keith Thurman, I mean, he flicks what he calls a jab out there, and I'm sure he'll get credit for it, you know. Yeah, John 99, yeah, Thurman's punch resistance is a bit suspect. As we all know, to the body as well, he looks vulnerable. I don't think Keith Thurman's a great boxer personally. You know, he loses his shape quite a lot. He's wild, he swings himself off balance. He squares up a bit when he unloads. You know, defensively, he's there to get caught. Not the most accurate fighter in the world. I think Keith Thurman's a guy who's kind of got by on his athletic ability for a lot of his career. And that is starting to slow down now. And I do believe he'll get beat fairly soon. But we'll see. ABC Def, he doubts Keith Thurman's power. No way, yeah, no way he's got the power anymore. I really want Manny to win and retire. Yeah, that'd be good. But I said it earlier in some video or on Twitter, one of the two. Like Manny Pacquiao's 40 years old and he's still giving us these fights. You know, he's still giving us fights we care about at 40 years old. He don't owe us anything at this stage. And, you know, these guys at heavyweights, you know, they're playing fun and games. They're not really giving us the fights we want. All across boxing, we hear about A side, B side, C side, whatever. Whereas Manny Pacquiao, 40 years old, done everything he needs to do, still fighting these young guys, unbeaten guys, world champions. Fair play to the man. Fair play to him. I think people really just need to appreciate the guy while he's still here. ABC Def, I think these Uzbekistanian fighters are here to take over boxing. Also, that Mohammed Rabi guy who whooped Josh Kelly in the amateurs, sorry, in the Olympics. Yeah, Mohammed Rabi has gone pro already. I think he's like 6 or 7-0 unbeaten. So we'll see how he gets on. And speaking of Uzbeks, on the Golovkin undercard tonight, Israel Madrimov, 2-0, super welterweight, really good prospect. I'd pick him to beat Munguia right now, to be quite honest. I think he's very good. Madrimov, very good prospect. Carnival, he says Usyk, Gassiev, and Hunter will join a World Boxing Super Series. Yeah, wait. Yeah, cruiserweights, exactly. And by the way, Gassiev at heavyweight, you guys, how do you feel about it? I think he'll do. I think he will surprise people. I think he'll do okay. He doesn't have that weight cut anymore. I think he'll be punching a lot harder at heavyweight. He's not like small or anything. He's got solid skills. I think he'll do okay. And Ariola said Gassiev, because Ariola sparred with Gassiev, and he said Gassiev was the hardest puncher or the most heavy-handed guy he's been in the ring with. Full stop. So without a weight cut, maybe Gassiev at heavyweight will be more effective. We will see. We will see. But I'm looking forward to seeing these cruiserweights go up. You know, Usyk, Gassiev. Hunter's doing his thing. Like even a Briadis, we've seen what he can do at heavyweight already. I know it's only Manuel Char, but he put that guy to sleep. He put him to sleep. And Manuel Char recently was in the running for a Joshua fight. So listen, these cruiserweights can have success at heavyweight, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Hang on, where were we? Where were we? Where were we? Dale Stirk, even with the layoff, Furman is steps above Broner, Matisse at welterweight right now. Yeah, I mean, I'd rate him above those guys, but he still went life and death with Josecito Lopez. Lopez is a good, honest fighter, blue collar fighter, but he's not like a top 10 guy. And he had Furman on Queer Street. Some referees would have stopped that fight. I certainly think Pacquiao can hurt Keith Furman. It's whether he can jump on him and finish him. ABC Def, he says Madrimov is so good. I think he beats Munguia by knockout. Yeah, I would take Madrimov to beat Munguia. Yeah, Pacquiao, the only lineal flyweight to become lineal featherweight, lineal light welterweight. Yeah, lineal welterweight. It's crazy. 40 years old though, man, and he's fighting Keith Thurman. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. The thing that surprises me about Manny Pacquiao, like now, is like he's had such a tough career, and the guy shows no signs whatsoever of like being punch drunk, or he doesn't show any wear and tear at all. Obviously, he's slowed down and whatnot, but he's a remarkable fighter. He really is. He was born for this fucking shit. ABC Def. I feel sorry for Munguia, and literally nobody thinks he can beat a guy with 2 fights. Yeah, Munguia. I mean, he's kind of plateaued. He's not really got any better since he beat Saddam Ali and Liam Smith. He's kind of got worse, actually, if I'm being honest. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If Manny Pacquiao roided so heavily, when will it show? Yeah. But it's mad how like Manny Pacquiao, he's had this long career for like 20, over 20 years now, and he's still sharp as a tack. Just a remarkable fighter. JT, he says Gassiev's a good addition to heavyweight. In my opinion, I think he'll be good and top 10, but I can't see him being top 5. Yeah, top 5, I'm not sure, but I certainly believe he'll be top 10. ABC Def, when is Eddie Hearn going to put Gassiev in his heavyweight debut? Or is he still crying about Joshua losing? Well, interestingly enough, apparently Gassiev is fighting end of June on the undercard of Andrade versus Selecki. And the guy Gassiev will be fighting is Joey DeWaco. Now, as we know, apparently Joey DeWaco knocked out Joshua in sparring. So, they're using DeWaco's name at least for some type of value. And that's an okay debut at heavyweight. DeWaco, he's a small heavyweight, but defensively sound, very good chin. He's a guy who can take you rounds. I think that's a good debut at heavyweight for Gassiev, to be honest. So, yeah, Apparently, it's Gassiev versus Dwayko on the undercard of Selecki Andrade. Carnival Gassiev can beat Ruiz. Fat Man's power is overrated as fuck. Yeah, I mean Ruiz. He never really got to Joseph Parker. His power really did nothing in that fight. Couldn't put a dent in Kevin Johnson. I mean, Ruiz he hits hard. He's quick, but I don't think he's this like a massive concussive puncher like people are saying. And yeah, I think Gassiev can do some big things at heavyweight. I think a lot of these cruiserweights can. Yeah, and Ariola also said the same thing. He said Gassiev was the um, hardest hitting guy he shared the ring with when he sparred him, and that was Ariola, who's fought Wilder, who's fought Vitali. Yeah, Copendo 9, you are right. Parker is better on the back foot than Joshua. Team Groves, what weight do you think Gassiev will come in at? Around 220, maybe 222, something like that. Oh yeah, Team Groves, he was massive for cruiserweight. He was a big old boy. I'm really intrigued about his heavyweight career. I really am. I think he'll do well. Team Groves, he thinks he could go up to 230. Carnival, £218, and then rehydrate a bit. Yeah, ABC Death. Gassiev is very young, and he's achieved a lot already. He beat Lebedev, Wolodarczyk, and Dorticos. Yep. Gassiev, I mean, he's what, 24, 25 years old. He looks about 35, man. But now he's got a long time left. He's got a long time left. Yeah, Usyk's a big cruiserweight as well. He's thick, like he's got broad shoulders, big chest. He's a big guy. He had to. I'd imagine he would have to like struggle to make cruiserweight, or he struggled to make cruiserweight. Gassiev versus Usyk at heavyweight. Do you think it would be the same outcome, or could Gassiev maybe KO Usyk? I think we've got to go with Usyk again. I felt like when they fought at cruiserweight, I felt Gassiev would have a great chance, but that wasn't to be. You know, I mean, yeah, I'd say Usyk would outbox him again. ABC Death. Gassiev is literally fat before he starts camps, and when you watch his fight with Dorticos, he looked small. Must have been a dreadful cut, yeah. Team Groves, Deontay Wilder is just an anomaly. 15 stone, but hits so hard, yeah. Tall, like if you're tall and skinny, a lot of these guys, they can punch quite hard, particularly with their straight punches. I mean, when I spar, I've never had like an amateur fight, but I've sparred quite a lot. I'm like a tall, rangy guy, um, and I've got like long reach, and stuff like that. And my straight punches, while my right hand was always quite powerful, but like with hooks and whatnot, uppercuts, nowhere near the same amount of power. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, his left hook is poor. Carnival slaps with it inside of a glove kind of thing. I've noticed a lot of American fighters do that with their hooks. They'll cuff with the inside of a glove. They never like come through on the knuckles or turn it over. Like Broner's got like one of the worst left hooks I've seen, man. I hate his left hook. It pisses me off so much. ABC Def. How about that Sebastian Fundora, the 6'7" super welterweight? He's massive. He could be a problem in the coming years. Well, if you're fighting that dude, you're going to go to his body straight away. 6'7", 154 pounds. Jesus. Yeah, Broner is a slapper. ABC. Yeah, his left hook though really winds me up. Once in a while, he will pick out a really nice shot, like his right uppercut, and he's got a nice short right hand. But yeah, I think yeah, he's very inaccurate, Broner. Yeah, no, Team Groves. Yeah, he did. He caught Porter with a left hook. That was a nice shot, to be fair. But for the most part, it misses or it slaps. Shepherd of Sons. The Durrells have a nephew that's 6'6" at welterweight. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. I've always been a slim guy. Like I'm about 6'1", 160. I've always been quite slim, but I can't imagine being that tall and that light. That's crazy. Brian Piss, how soon does Madrimov get it done tonight? Um, he's fighting Norberto Gonzalez, who's a good journeyman. Um, Gonzalez has taken a few guys for distance, but I think Madrimov will take him out in 5 or 6 rounds. To be honest, I think we'll take him out in 5 or 6 rounds. I think Gonzalez took Kana Islam for distance, which is a good you know shows he's durable. Hang on, there we go. There we go. Tailboy the Hitman Hearns. Yeah, ABC Def. Madrimov inside 5. Yeah, I think he'll get the stoppage. He's good to watch, Madrimov. I really like his style. And that's the next wave. Like we've had Russia, Ukraine, Kazakhstan in recent years. It's going to be like Uzbekistan next and Azerbaijan, places like this. These countries in the amateurs are doing great. And they guys are turning pro from that part of the world. They're having great success. Guys like Golovkin, of course, they're making big money. And these guys now are going to see that they can turn pro, they can make money. And in the next few years, it's going to be a steady influx of these type of fighters coming out of that part of the world. And a lot of these guys are extremely well schooled. But yeah, Uzbekistan, Azerbaijan, these guys have been outperforming for Cubans, man. Copindo 9, Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly versus Diego Chavez. Who wins it? If Diego Chavez has anything left, I would pick Chavez, but I think he's shot these days by looks of him. Yeah, man. I'm slim as fuck. I've always been slim, like no matter what. I'm relatively toned, but I've always been slim. Yeah, exactly. ABC Def. Yeah, these Uzbekistanians are young. Yeah, like Madrimov, he's 24, and a lot of these guys are turning over. They're going to be a problem. A lot of these guys I'm very excited about. There's also another guy on the Golovkin undercard. He's from Kazakhstan, Ali Akhmedov. He's a super middleweight, I believe. I think he's 14 and 0. I want to say he's about 24, 25 years old. He's another guy who looks quite interesting. So keep an eye out for him. So yeah, there's a couple of good prospects on that undercard. I think Ali Akhmedov is signed with K2 or he's signed under Golovkin. I'm not sure, but he's a good prospect. I think Madrimov is 24 ABC. But yeah, he's fairly young. He's got a long time left. Yeah, ABC. Yeah, Akhmedov. Yeah, he is exciting. He's exciting. Jesus Christ. Half four was under 200 when he was 15. He's double that now. Jesus. Team Groves want to record the Golovkin fight on Sky. Couldn't find it. Guess they're not showing it on Sky tonight, if anybody knows. I thought they were showing it. I swear they were showing Golovkin versus Rolls. Have a quick check. I thought it was on like main event or something. Sky Sports main event. Maybe not. If not, I'll just watch it on YouTube the next day. I'm not going to stay up for it. It's too. I'm knackered, to be quite honest. I'll have a look. 1 second. Sky Sports schedule. Because I was going to record it as well. Oh, go away. Maybe not. Okay, let's look at TV Guide. I hate how Sky lay this out. Idiots. Yeah, I don't think it's on. Anyway, let's go back to the chat. All natural too, vegan. Jesus Christ. A vegan who takes creatine probably. Okay, they're not showing Golovkin. Damn. I'll just catch it on YouTube or something the next day, or Daily Motion. Daily Motion's quite good for uploading fights. They usually appear on there fairly quickly. The annoying thing is, I hate it when people spoil the result in the title. Yeah, that's surprising, ABC. No broadcasters over here picking it up. That's the first Golovkin fight that hasn't been broadcast for years. Like I mean, Box Nation was showing Golovkin's early fights when he first got the WBA. That was like back in 2012, maybe. Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. That's annoying. Ah, Chris Hughes in the chat. It's free on 203 Freeview. Okay. What channel is that? Fair play. I'll try and okay. I'll try and record it. Now ABC Box Nation, they've not picked it up. Pave station. Ah dear. Fell for that one, didn't I? Jesus. I think I'd rather watch that, to be fair. But there we go. I am still looking forward to seeing how Golovkin looks, though, to see if this new Golovkin can show us a few new things. I've enjoyed watching his training footage. I like the fact he's not loading up on every punch on the pads. Feet look a lot lighter, moving his head. Yeah, it looks like they're working on new things. Hopefully he can replicate that in the fight. See how good he looks. But I'm pleased Golovkin's kind of going back to his roots, just boxing more. It's like with Buddy McGirt and Sergey Kovalev, kind of took Kovalev back to the basics, using his feet, using his movement, using that lovely jab, and picking his spots, just going back to basics. And maybe Jonathan Banks is looking to do something similar with Golovkin. I was always unsure on Jonathan Banks as a trainer, but I know it's only pad work, but I like what I've seen so far. I do. I like what I've seen so far. Levi Khan, David Allen ends Price's career in July, right? Yeah, I think Dave Allen. Yeah, I think Dave Allen. It's going to be the typical David Allen and David Price fight. David Allen, he'll get beat for the first 2 to 3 rounds. He'll get outboxed by David Price. David Price then gasses. He then gets knocked out. Okay, Levi Khan in the chat. He says Michael Hunter versus Kubrat Pulev. If that's true, that's a really good fight. I'm interested in that one. I like that fight. That's a good fight. I enjoyed Pulev's last fight against what's the dude's name? Bogdan Dinu. That was a good fight. You can't stop the Dave Allen train. Jesus. Maybe David Price's right hand to the head can. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, man, Ruben Guerrero. Yeah, Pulev Hunter. Really good fight. Really good fight. If that fight happens and Hunter wins, at that point, he becomes a genuine top 10 heavyweight. Because Pulev is still a top 10 heavyweight, in my opinion. Yeah, ABC. When Dinu Pulev was announced, I thought to myself, "Oh, what a crap fight!" But the fight itself actually was really entertaining. Really good fight. Bogdan Dinu has a bit of talent. He can box a bit, but he's got no chin. He's got no gas tank, and I don't really think he's got the heart of a battle. But he's got a bit of talent. Levi Khan, Golovkin rolls tonight, yeah. And also Ali Akhmedov versus Marcus McDaniel on the Golovkin undercard. Yeah, we mentioned him earlier. Yeah, Akhmedov is a really good prospect. Very good fighter. Could go a long, long way. Levi Khan, Zili Zhang versus Bogdan Dinu next, apparently. See, I didn't even know that. I've been sleeping on this bits of heavyweight news. Let's have a look. I don't think Zili Zhang is that good, though. I don't think Zhili Zhang is that good at all. He was a decent amateur, but as a pro, he's not really impressed me, if I'm being honest. Okay, Zhili Zhang boxer. Let's have a look. Is this all confirmed or? ABC Def. If you touch Dinu's chin, you've won. It could miss, and it'd still go down. Yeah, exactly. Levi Khan, your Dennis Ugas versus Omar Figueroa Jr. That's a really good fight. He's got Ugas. The Quags has Ugas. I mean, I could see Figueroa's work rate and inside game giving Ugas problems. Ugas has actually gassed in certain fights in the past. Look at the Thomas Delorme fight, for example. Maybe if Figueroa can really impose a tough, rough, high octane fight, he could win. But I think Ugas is going to be the favourite going into that one. Ugas, he's a fairly good boxer, nice jab, decent counter puncher, decent power. We'll see, man. That's a good fight, though. We'll see. Levi Khan, John Molina Jr. versus Lipinets is murder. Molina is in trouble. Yeah, I think Molina's getting knocked out in that fight. You can never rule out Molina. He can crack. He'll always come to fight, but he's seen better days at this point. He's seen better days. And yeah, ABC, he agrees. Lipinets is going to KO Molina easily. Yeah, I think he'll knock him out. I think he'll stop him in rounds 5 or 6. F8 Ajagba versus Demareason is mildly interesting. FA is the favourite, but who knows? Yeah, I mean, Demareason, he's 11-0 with 10 knockouts. He was a good amateur. I mean, it's a step up. It's a step up. So I've got no problem with it. Both guys are unbeaten. Both guys can crack. Who knows, man? Who knows what happens if a Jagba gets caught on the chin? And listen, man, I know a Jagba won against Wallish in 2 rounds, but I felt there was a few defensive lapses in that fight. On the inside, he didn't really know how to throw back. He was kind of getting outworked on the inside. A few shots were getting through behind his high guard. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure. I think FA is a really good raw talent, but we need a bit more. He needs a bit more time, a bit more seasoning. But right now, I wouldn't rush him too much. I wouldn't push him too far. ABC Def. Hassan and Dam has been dropped 13 times in 3 of his losses. Not a great look for a former 2-time champion. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you forget he's a 2-time champion. The first time, though, I think he was awarded his belt. He was like interim champion, and then he was elevated, something like that. And the second time he won the belt was a Stonewall robbery against Murata. But yeah, I mean, Hassan and Dam at middleweight was fairly decent. A lot of heart, I'll give him that much. Levi Khan, where does David Benavidez go from here? David is the super middleweight one, isn't he? If so, I think he'll fight. I think they'll try and get him that WBC title, to be honest with you, and just keep him busy in the meantime. I don't think you'll see much, any great fights from Benavidez this year. The best we'll get from Benavidez is the winner of Yildirim versus Durrell 2, if that fight happens. Okay, Hassan and Dam has a disfigured left arm due to surgery for an injury. He shouldn't be cleared to fight. I'll look it up in a bit. ABC Def, Glowatsky was elevated to full champion as well. Easiest world title ever, and he's probably going to beat Briadis. Hopefully not. And he'll get another belt. That's from ABC Def. Yeah, he could become the WBC and WBO champion. So I think Briadis is going to beat him, though, for some reason. I'm taking Briadis. I actually hope Glowatsky wins. I like Glowatsky. I like Briadis as well. I like all of these cruiserweights. I mean, what's not to like? You know, these guys fight each other at the end of the day. These guys fight each other. Levi Khan being a bit sarcastic with that last comment. Great matchup. BJ Flores versus Otto Warlin. Props to Showtime. Can't wait. Cup End '09. I'm looking forward to seeing Jermaine Franklin again, though. Yeah, Franklin, he's an interesting prospect. He struggled a bit with Rydell Booker, but, he's got a bit of time. He's still fairly young. Yeah, Ruben Guerrero, Gassiev versus Deweyko. I mentioned that earlier. I think that's an ideal first fight at heavyweight for Gassiev. Like I said, Deweyko, smaller heavyweight, yeah, but he's got a very good chin, defensively sound. He's been in there with some good guys. He's experienced. He was actually a good amateur as well. Deweyko has ability. He's just small, but I think that's ideal. An ideal first fight at heavyweight. ABC Def. Is Deweyko a nice guy because he looks like a bit of a douche? Not to judge him. Don't know, man. They called him the White James Toney at one point, believe it or not. And he kind of fights in that style, slip and slide. He liked to kind of roll with punches. He's kind of slick. He's got that. He's got like a Philly type of style, I guess. He is from Philly, by the way. I know James Toney wasn't, but are you kidding, Levi Khan? Anthony Peterson versus Chop Chop Corley. Fucking hell. And yeah, Cop End. Yeah, Chop Chop's a great name. A great nickname. Ah, dear. Dominic Brazil called out Bermain Stavern. That can't be right. That can't be right. Battle of the buffet table. Titty competition. I mean, come on now. Okay, now. And yeah, I've not seen Anthony Peterson since he got disqualified against Brandon Rios. That was years ago. That's like 2011 or something like that. 2010, 2011. That's the last time I saw Peterson fight. And he's done fuck all since then. Yeah, Levi, you're right. Adam Kalnatsky versus Chris Ariola, not a great fight at all. Ariola will come to fight, but he's not the guy he was. His durability isn't there anymore. And I believe yeah, I believe Kalnatsky is going to walk through him, to be quite honest. Yeah, ABC Def. Povetkin would have killed Stavam. He would have done some serious harm to him, to be honest. Do you know Povetkin's style? I really liked his style when he was like near his best. His style was lovely. When Povetkin went on that tear, yeah, he was knocking fuckers out. That was beautiful. Beautiful. Cop End '09. Is Lebedev still fighting? I see the WBA have called a purse bid. Yeah, I heard he was going to retire. I'm not sure what's going on, to be honest. I'm not sure what's going on. Don Flamenco in the chat, what's going on, brother? How you doing? He says, "Yo, I think the boxing dudes should know that Adonis Stevenson as well. He gave his first interview yesterday. Google it." I heard about that actually. I heard about that on boxing scene. Oh yeah, Ruben. I think a younger Povetkin would have knocked out Joshua. To be honest, just a 18. That fight came 12, 18 months too late. To be honest, that was actually a really good fight while it lasted. You know, Copendo9 is Frank Warren serious about making Billy Joe Saunders versus Callum Smith? For some reason, I'm not buying it. Yeah, I'm not buying it either, mate. To be honest with you, um, Joe Gallagher is saying he's not heard anything, but that's Joe Gallagher. We can't really take that guy's word as gospel. But I'm not really believing Frank Warren either. I don't think so. I think it's all a PR stunt. I think it's just it's been said to make Billy Joe look good. I'm not buying it though either. Or maybe Frank Warren is just ready to cash Billy Joe out. Because what's the alternative? Fighting Hungarian road sweepers at Stevenage? What else is there for him to do? Don Flamenco, yeah, no, good man, good. I'm glad you're well. I'm glad you're well. ABC Def, I heard on Box Talk with Ade in last August that Povetkin's failed tests were bollocks and he was basically screwed, yeah. And by the way, his channel's really good. Boxing Talk with Ade, yeah, he's got a good channel. JT, who do you think Povetkin's next opponent could be? I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Do you know what I'd like to see? I would like to see, after Gassiev's first fight at heavyweight, wouldn't mind seeing Gassiev versus Povetkin, an all-Russian showdown. That'd be a good fight. Yeah, Gassiev versus Povetkin in Russia. That'd be amazing. And if Gassiev could beat Povetkin even now, that would say a lot. Okay, fan said that, not Ade. But I don't know. With Povetkin, to be honest, I don't think it will be Gassiev. I'm not sure who he's going to fight. I think he'll fight somebody decent. I don't think Povetkin now wants to mess around with tune-up fights. Yeah, Povetkin versus Pulev. That's a good shout. Good fight as well. Povetkin versus Michael Hunter. I'd like to see. Povetkin versus Joseph Parker. Now Joseph Parker signed with Matchroom. Yeah, man. A lot of people in the comments. Yeah, thank you guys for showing out. By the way, good turnout. And yeah, going forwards, so with these live streams, um, So I'll do some where it's just me and you guys because I feel when I talk to people on stream, it kind of distracts me from the chat. And I'd rather have a couple of streams where I'm just dedicating my time to you guys, so I can read the comments. So that's what this type of stream is. I called it an evening with Uncle Dell, as you can see. But yeah, I'll also do the regular streams with people, and we might also do a stream where it's not boxing related. We talk about anything. So yeah, that's the plan going forwards. That's the plan going forwards. Shepherd of Suns, Povetkin versus Ruiz. That'd be a really good fight, you know. Oh yeah, ABC Def. I'd make Povetkin a favourite against Joseph Parker. Versus Joe Joyce. Do you know? I think Povetkin would knock Joyce out. To be honest, I think Povetkin knocks him out. 1 second. Let me move that. There we go. Yeah, ABC. He agrees. He says Joyce would be knocked out by Povetkin. I think I agree, man. I think I agree. ABC Def. Parker's got a great chin. Dave Higgins. Yeah. I need to see some more Dave Higgins. We need more Dave Higgins in our life. In our lives. Povetkin versus the senior citizens, aka Luis Ortiz. Yeah, yeah, no, that's great. But to be honest, you read the chat more whilst with McGregor, and that remember when you started streaming, you never read the chat, so you've come a long way. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. But now I will I'll do some of these solo streams to yeah just dedicate it to the chat. I'll still obviously read the chat when I'm with people, but it just makes it easier when it's just me. I'm not great at multitasking, I guess, but I don't have a vagina, so there we go. I'm, oh shit, Copendo9. Just seen on Twitter, Dubois is doing some work with Lennox Lewis. Should I bet the house on Gorman? Yes, sir. It's set. It's done. Nathan Gorman's going to win that fight, and he's going to win it by knockout. Yeah, 100%. Is that true? Oh, that's crazy. Nah, I would stay well away from Lennox Lewis. Shepherd of Suns. If Povetkin was in his prime in this era, most of the top heavyweights would be fucked. Yeah, I think I agree, mate. I agree. Yeah, Copendo 9, that's a good point. To be fair, not many heavyweights would get up from that left hook Dillian threw against Parker. I know AJ and Wilder don't, or won't, sorry. Parker was back on his feet and got his legs back very fast. Yeah, he did. He recovered quite quickly, actually. And he finished that fight really strongly. Yeah, Parker's genuinely got a good chin. He's arguably he's got one of the better chins at heavyweight right now. Yeah, ABC Def. Yeah, we all now know anybody can KO AJ. I knew that from the Povetkin fight, to be honest. The only thing that surprised me, obviously, the results surprised me about the Joshua fight. You know, the results surprised me. Nobody was picking Ruiz, but the thing that did surprise, well, the thing that really surprised me was how Joshua lost. Because in the past, like all the way back from his amateur days, he always showed fairly good heart. Like even in the was it in the European Championships when he fought I think he fought Majidov maybe, and he showed some great heart in that fight. He went to war, took some big punches, showed great heart in the Klitschko fight, even in the Povetkin fight. You know, he showed really good heart. But in the Ruiz fight, he just checked out mentally. That's the only thing that surprised me, but or really surprised me. You know, or that's the thing that surprised me the most, I should say, because the result did obviously. But I was surprised with how Joshua lost more than anything. Yeah, Dubois on Twitter. Yeah, Lennox Lewis. Haha, Christ. There we go, man. Could be another David Price scenario. Yeah, Lennox Lewis, man. I mean, fucking hell. Oh yeah, ABC. I agree. Yeah. Right, lads. I'm gonna call this one. Thank you guys for showing out. Thank you guys for commenting. Thank you guys for liking. I'll definitely do another one fairly shortly, in the next few days, I would say. But yeah, thank you guys for coming out. Peace.